Hello and welcome to a humble Highland home. Thank you so much for joining me here today. At the beginning of the year, I made a video called Continue to Finish What We Started, which was a follow-up to the video that we did the previous year called Simplify and Finish What We Started, a plan for 2023. So for the past year and a half, we've been focusing on projects that we'd started but not finished, and gradually we're ticking them off one by one. Now, one of these projects is to install new steps that lead from what will be the courtyard garden up to the kitchen garden, which is elevated from the cottage. The old steps had become a danger with the slope and the steep spacing, especially in autumn and winter time when the fallen leaves became very wet and slippery. We have made several attempts at making headway with this project, then other things had just become more of a priority at the time. I knew that this was going to be brought back up the list of priorities this year, so I purposely didn't plant any annual crops and kept as much of the ground covered as I could by using black ground cover membrane. Unfortunately, it has also become a bit of a dumping ground, so today I'm going to change this and start to clear this area one section at a time. Now, I can't remember just how long ago it was, but a good few years anyway, there had been an old falling down stone wall held in places by some crumbling cement. The pathway was also a lot more narrow, so the first thing was to remove the stones from the wall, which now are partly in the courtyard garden. Then I dug back the ground so we had a wider pathway, and at some point Adam will be installing a new boiler which will go outside, and now there is space for this. We then installed the gabion baskets and filled them with stone from the original wall and also from the garden. We are very lucky to have some lovely friends that when they come to visit, they generally bring their work gloves and boots. So on one visit, with a little help, Adam was able to get the first step in place, but unfortunately, we've not progressed any further since then. This is where the steps will be going, but the spaces at either side I view as part of the project too, as they all should blend and flow together. However, to keep it all manageable, I'm breaking the project down into stages, with the first being clearing space to work safely. First area that I'm starting to clear is along the line of the gabion baskets, as this is where some of the soil will be going as I start to dig it out. The second will be clearing around the steps and the stones in front of the steps as I keep tripping over them. And the third is the other side of the steps and digging back into the banking, which will also allow more space in the courtyard garden. So lots of work ahead and lots of digging and de-stoning to be done, but it'll all be worth it and it'll make a lot better use of the space. And once it's done, there will be a lot less work to maintain it all, as I will not be hauling stones and wheelbarrows about for the rest of my days. These container fruit trees and shrubs, along with the mini greenhouse, all came from my previous garden, which worked really well for me there. Unfortunately, this mini polycarbonate greenhouse was attacked by seagulls when I clearly had something in there that they wanted. Seagulls can be quite vicious at times, but I'm hoping me and Adam can fix this up and I can put it back into use. I do think I'm going to have a bit of a sort out though next to the greenhouse and the waste management area, so that I can get everything fitted in and working well. Next to go is some old carpet, which we will take to the recycling centre the next time we're in town. This piece of carpet obviously wanted to stay where it was. It needed a little bit of gentle persuasion to see it on its way. Some of these weeds have grown on top of the ground cover, which is an example that ground cover can prevent weeds but won't actually stop them, as the weeds will attach themselves to any kind of debris that's on top and they'll continue their growing cycle from there. Right, it's time to get started. These weeds are not going to lift themselves. But first, I think I need a couple of bags to put them in. I save all my old compost bags and I store them in an old wash basket in the polytunnel, ready to be used again. I use an old compost bag for many different things, and today it's to fill them full of weeds. Although the new garden steps will be the bigger and more longer term projects that I, and sometimes we, will be working on, I still need to maintain our kitchen garden and a host of other things that keep me busy. So this is what's been happening here at the Croft in the Highlands of Scotland. But what about you? Everyone is living in different zones and climates. So what are you currently focusing on? So let's chat down below in the comments or over on Instagram. But for now, thank you so much for joining me here today. Take care of yourself and others, and I'll see you in the next video.